How to deal with failure is probably the biggest challenge for any entrepreneur, CEO, or executive heading into 2026 and beyond. But actually, instead of giving you some motivational quote or some terribly made Canva edit that's on LinkedIn to try and show you the steps for it, what I'm going to do is actually show you a psychological process that you can take and implement to not only help you fail faster and still see success, but actually how do you deal with it real time so it doesn't eat you alive when you're by yourself, or vice versa, you putting on a brave face for your team. Now, when it comes down to failure, it is impossible for you not to fail. This is what a lifestyle, if you're entrepreneurial, people think goal acquisition looks like that, yeah? All sunshine and rainbows, here's your $1 million business, whatever, blah, blah, blah. How many people how do you build $1 billion business? How to do this, how to do that? Do you know what I'm gonna tell you the life of an entrepreneur really looks like? Life of an entrepreneur looks like this, where actually you are fighting tooth and nail every single fucking day to try and get to this position. And one day it happens. And what happens then? You hit the target, you hit your end goal, and you're actually that pissed off and annoyed because you've now not got a big thing to chase. It's an oxymoron. We all want success, but actually when we get there, we all want more success. Or how many people who sort of they win the lottery analogy, they win the lottery and they blow it on shit and they actually get worse. My job today is to show you how to frame this, because actually, if you're wired like me, you want challenge. You want to push your limits. You want to see the edges of your capacity in every single regard. But what you don't want to do is to be sat down on a sofa with your missus or your husband eating yourself alive because you failed, flopped, or not achieved the thing that you're going to try and do. Now, if we look at this from a very simple, this is quite a brash, basically find out, fuck about. The more that you find out, the more you have to fuck about. So if I fuck about up here, I have to find out more. So actually what most people are looking at is for perfection. That's never going to happen. The more that you chase doing more things and the more you muck around doing it, you're going to start seeing bigger parts of your puzzle. What most people do is they get stuck in the gap. They get stuck in the, oh my God, I want to achieve this. And actually, they get so frustrated they don't take any action. There's a book I'd like you to get and read. Again, totally not mine. It's called Gap in the Game by Dan Sullivan. Very, very interesting understanding of what failure looks like, because remember, failure is only feedback. Whenever we look at language is how your subconscious mind processes. It's imperative. If you look at Carol Dweck stuff, when growth mindset, everything's open-ended. It should be the same with your language. If you are finite, if you're personal, if you're pervasive and you're blaming everybody else, the reason why you're struggling is because you're not actually vesseling that in the thing you're asking for, compared to you being open-minded, going, do you know what? Every time that I fail, I'm learning from this. It doesn't stop it from being frustrating, by the way. That pisses you off. And that's the thing that does grind your gears. But that's not the point. The point is that has to happen. The higher you climb, the harder it becomes for you to achieve, because you're asking for more and more elaborate pieces of the puzzle. It doesn't matter what. So many people are looking into people's journeys who have made it, who are a 10-year success, and it's all these sort of metaphors. But actually, that's probably not going to help you. What you need is something real time. And this is what we're going to do real time, okay? This is again, Dan Sullivan stuff, which is brilliant. Okay, so we have got goal. We then got what you've achieved right now. You then got whatever the start point is. Again, when it comes, you can do this around health, you can do this around business, you can do this around leadership, you can do this around personal development, does not matter. It's exactly the same thing. What most people do is they visualize. Sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to spell visualize whilst I'm trying to think about the model itself. Visualize, or they think about where they are and where the goal is. The issue with this is that gap is so big, it becomes alienating. And what you actually measure is this. You measure your success on where you are right now and your goal. If you are a founder and you are running a startup, your end outcome is to either IPO or for you to sell out or sell the whole thing. How alienating is that in comparison to if you are in the position where you again visualize, or you're again where you think, and what you actually are trying to measure is where you've come from. Now, This is massively important when it comes down to goal acquisition and for your failing mechanisms, because what this does for your central nervous system and from an understanding of yourself standpoint is it gives yourself a little bit of break. This does not mean you lay off, by the way. But many people will start getting this kind of video and be like, oh, you should be kind to yourself. Shut the fuck up. It's not about being kind to yourself. What it is around learning how to coach yourself. Coaching and leadership is a blood-based sport in relation to how you're dealing with deep, hard conversations in the messy grey area. It's always turbulent. It's always annoying. There's never a time where it's settled, because the minute it's settled, you've already hit the thing. You need to move on. What we're doing right now is stopping you, measuring your end outcome and where you are right now, measure how far you've come, still visualize of where you're going, but the gap that you're actually, this is called, this from his book, this is called the gap, and that's called the gain. If you measure the gain, it helps you decompress. Now, how do you deal with failure? Is, for me, how I deal with failure is we use an after action review. In a video, I'll link it in the description somewhere. I talk about after action reviews and actually how to utilize them. They're using tactical units in relation to an actual elite level sport. If you're not using an after action review and actually recognizing, again, using the word Kaizen, Kaizen is a Japanese proverb for always getting better. If you don't actually recognize that and you're not leveraging that inside of your process, you're never actually going to feel like you're complete. Because if you look at where you are and actually I'm nowhere near where I'm supposed to be, it's only going to get more and more frustrating. Where this is when it comes down to elite level sport, is elite level sportsmen and women do not look at their end outcome. They look at the process. The process to get there is in here. Most people, when it comes down to failure, it's yes or no, and they measure where they are, and actually even not even where they started, and what they've got, and they're measuring this huge gap here that they struggle with. So if you are somebody who is feeling like you again, using social media terms of you're not resilient or you're not able to deal with challenge, my question to you is, are you owning it? 2, are you measuring it? And then 3, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Because if you're in that position where you have failed and you are struggling and you are bumping your head against the brick wall, there's 2 things. You're either not doing the wrong things at the wrong time, or you're just not letting time do its thing, and you're not being pervasive. Hard enough in relation to the amount of action you're taking to actually make it happen. Inside Built for Pressure, we use a thing called an implementation call. For people that haven't been part of my program, who are CEOs, executives, entrepreneurs, who are founders, who are operating in high pressure environments, who have not got motivation problems, they've got what the fuck to do next problems. If this is you, you know you've been frustrated, you do not know what you need to do next just to unlock that next level, to get you to keep attacking this goal, but obviously from a position of what you've achieved. I'd like to get to know you. DM the word call. I'll send you a link. It's 20 minutes. You can't actually get involved in our program off this call, because the whole point of this call is to see whether we're the right fit for you, you're the right fit for us. But from a high performance and human performance consulting standpoint, I can help you. If, again, underneath this video, I'll link the after action review. Check that one out. If you have any questions around the gap, strongly recommend buy that book. Amazing book for those who feel they're getting in their own way. Know, like, and trust us to everybody. I'd like everybody who is watching this, if you could send this to somebody, or vice versa, just like it, interact with it, because this channel is made for those who want to achieve across the board. I'd like to get to know you. Anyway, I digress. Have an awesome day. Check that other video, and I'll catch you soon.